Assalamu alaikum. Do you know which was the first man and the first prophet on the earth? Well, I have read it recently. Let's find out who was the first prophet and first man on the earth. Allah once announced to his creation his decision to create man as a caliph on earth. The angels asked him as to why he would create a being that would spill blood and spread corruption on earth, when they were more happy to obey him and serve him. To this, Allah replied that He knew what they don't know. It is important to mention here that God announced His decision. Apart from the angels, another of God's creation called the jinn was also present. The jinn are another of God's creation created from fire, after the angels, which were created from light. But before men, amongst the jinn, there was a particularly important jinn by the name of Azazel, who had managed to secure God's favor through his obedience. In fact, God has elevated him in rank and granted him a position above that of the angels. Moving forward, Allah fashioned Adam's body from clay with his own hand. After that, he blew into the figure of Hazrat Adam his own spirit and commanded all those present to prostrate before Hazrat Adam. Everyone prostrated except for the jinn called Azazel. When Allah asked him as to what had prevented him from prostrating before Hazrat Adam salam, he replied that he was superior to him because God had created him from fire and Hazrat Adam salam from clay. For his arrogance, God cast him out and exiled him, stripped him on his rank, and titled him as Shaitan. Instead of repenting, Shaitan then asked Allah for respite till the day of resurrection, which God granted him. Upon this, Shaitan swore by Allah's honor that he would mislead mankind from the path of God. In response to this, God cursed him and destined him to hell and labeled him Iblis or devil. Allah then created for Hazrat Adam salam his mate Hazrat Hawa salam from his rib while he slept and instructed him that he and his mate could eat from any tree except a particular one. If they did, then they would be lose their innocence. The devil or Shaitan caused them to slip and eat from the forbidden tree. When this happened, they committed their first sin and their innocence was lost. As a result, their shame became apparent and they started covering themselves with leaves. However, at the same time, Hazrat Adam salam had for the first time exercised his free will and was now ready to inherit the succession of the earth as God has originally planned. So God sent them down on earth and instructed them to follow his guidance whenever it came to them so that they may enter heaven through his grace. Unlike the devil, who increased in sin and rebellion, Hazrat Adam salam expressed regret for his disobedience of God's command. So Allah taught Hazrat Adam salam the words of forgiveness and forgave him and his mate Hazrat Hawa salam. Since then, Allah has spread the progeny of Hazrat Adam salam across the earth and sent down for his guidance several prophets, some of which include Hazrat Nuh salam, Hazrat Ibrahim salam, Hazrat Musa salam, Hazrat Isa salam, and Hazrat Muhammad sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wasallam. May peace be upon all them.